Good morning, traders and investors. How are you? I hope you are doing well. This is MDB Modified Darvas Box, and I'm coming at you here with another weekend review. It is Saturday, September 14th at what time is it? 10:11 a.m. And what a week. Last week, everything looked really, really bad. And, I was convinced that yeah, man, things are going to roll over. The market is turning down. The Fed, blah blah blah. I bought it as well. And then this week, it seems like the whole market decided, nah, we're not going to do that. And man, with the amount of bullish rips and everything that happened, I was amazed. So we've seen a pretty big turnaround here. The big question is, did the big rip lead to a lot of buyable signals, or was it just making up lost ground that had been lost the week before? And the markets are still sort of going sideways. Well, the answer is both yes and no, because some things look great and some things did exactly that, simply make up lost ground and, you know, aren't looking that great. And so to review the charts and separate the two is the goal of today. And I was away most of this past week. I was traveling. I went to Niagara Falls. I was up in Western New York, and I will. Let me just say this: I will recommend everyone go there at some point to check the box and see them. The power of the falls is amazing. The beauty and power of nature. Just highly recommend that kind of trip. All right, so let's get into it. For anybody who has never watched any of my videos, I am an independent trader investor. I've been doing this for a long, long ass time. I made my first trade in 1995 and been trading and learning ever since. My system is based on the book How I Made $2 million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Darvas. It's one of the great books out there. And I've also added various elements from the strat strategy as well. And I'm constantly learning and tinkering and trying new stuff. And let me tell you, this journey is all about learning. So if you see good ideas for your own system, feel free to use them. You can see here on my charts, I've got box ranges here, which some could call them bases, and I've got different colors on the bars, and the colors all mean something. Like, for example, these light grays, these are inside bars. And, an inside bar is a valid trading signal. Basically, you see the signal, and then you can trade it whichever side the reaction bar, the next one, goes towards. And in my opinion, trading signals is superior to just about every other methodology out there. The whole reason why is because signals let you see the signal, the setup, and then you can then make a plan and then trade your plan based on the reaction to the signal, rather than knee-jerking it, rather than drawing trend lines that constantly change, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm definitely a signals trader, and I'm looking for signals for the market to tell me what to do. Or not tell me what to do, for the market to tell me to prepare for something so that I can figure out what I am going to do. So I have 6 lists here, which I keep my stocks on. We're going to look at lists 1 through 4, and yeah, we're going to go through and look at signals. So start with indexes, and we got the AMZ, which is MLP indexes, and sideways but up. And I've got these are great for income. I've got some of these in my income portfolio, and man, I just love getting paid my dividends. ARC, I've only got ARC here because it's got a lot of good colors to show you. For example, yellow bar buy signal. I code the bars different colors. So then I'm interpreting the colors when the conditions are met. Blue is very bullish, like sit up, pay attention, with a bullish tint. Pinks here are bearish with are sit up, pay attention, but with a bearish tint. Orange are shooters and hammers. Oh, do we got a good example? A hammer bar. I don't have a good example, but it's a shooter is an inverse hammer. Those are both bullish and bearish, depending upon how they form. For example, this one is a bearish shooter. You get the signal bar right there, and then the trade is when it breaks the low the following week. So easy to see and react. So in this case, we've had quite a ride in the markets. You know, we got the signals back here in July, mid-July, big sell-off, and we've been sort of bouncing up, down ever since. I thought this was a dead cat bounce, and it was rolling over. And up until right here, the markets that was correct. But wow, look at this reaction this past week. Boom. Somebody decided that, yeah, the economy ain't so bad, things are still looking pretty good, etc. What's not good here is proxy for oil. Demand for oil is down. That's a box breakdown. And look at that. Sideways action and going down. So, you know, you'd interpret that oil going down means that economies are slowing. Yeah, that's a valid interpretation. But stocks don't just reflect the economy, they reflect profitability. And profitability of American companies is just phenomenal. I mean, the big American companies are just cash printing machines. It's incredible. Incredible how much profit. And right here we see the NASDAQ. Perfect example. Here's the signal. Come down, bounce, roll over, and now such a powerful return, it changed the bar's color to yellow. That's a yellow bar buy signal. That means sit up and pay attention because you may be wanting to buy next week. Now, next week we've got the Federal Reserve meeting, so it's going to be dicey if you're buying, like, let's say Monday morning. But maybe after the Fed, depending on the reaction, at that point you might be like, yeah, we're buying. We're in. So we'll see. So we got a signal to sit up, pay attention, and we'll see what the reaction is. But that means it's poised to do something. However, if price goes back down, well, then the signal then becomes invalidated and it's no longer in effect. Which happens, you know. It could happen. The problem is a Federal Reserve meeting. We don't know what's going to happen. And more important, we don't know what the reaction to what they're gonna do. So we'll see. But Nasdaq is pointed very bullish. Crypto, Ethereum, crashing through the low of its Darvas box, recovery. But like I mentioned in my little monologue opener, is this the kind of rebound that you want to be buying? You know, would you mortgage your house for that pattern? God, no. So it is what it is. It's a stick save. That's what I call it. Like a hockey goalie, stick save. But it doesn't mean you want to be buying it. FFTY, ugh. You know, is this bullish? Not really. But China, that's forming a little mini box in here. I guess you could call it something like that. But it's very premature to draw that right there. But, I mean, honestly, do I care about China? No. Bitcoin, GBTC. This is kind of a flawed Bitcoin measure these days. I'm going to get rid of it soon. But you see the rebound right there. Is that the rebound to new highs? Not really. Gold, on the other hand, look at that. Making new highs. Which is interesting that we got a big Fed meeting with gold. You know, is the Fed going to keep destroying the value of the dollar? Yeah, probably. But I don't know. We'll see. But they're saying gold is a good place to be. Look at that. New all-time highs. New all-time highs is a good thing to be if you're long. High yield bonds keep moving up. Is that moving up because of the economy or because they simply pay higher interest? I don't know. But it's good for it's good for markets when high yield bonds are going up. When high yield bonds are going down, it's not so good. Insurance. Look at that. There's a signal. That is a bullish hammer bar signal for the insurance sector. I put some money into insurance, into this sector in the family trust. And I mean, look at it. It's just the most wonderful sector. Even though, and you know, if we've all gotten our bills, like our car insurance bills, no wonder, you know, we're all paying through the nose. It sucks. This one, I bet Bitcoin. There's a recovery. Box breakdown with the recovery. Do you want to be buying that? I don't think so. But at least it's not crashing, right? Software, yellow bar buy signal. NASDAQ and software. We've already learned two places we need to be focused on. NASDAQ and software. Housing. Housing's been definitely bullish here, and we got a blue bar signal. Now, sometimes the reaction to blues is a red down bar, but not always. So we'll have to see, but that's a positive signal, but it's a little different from the yellow. But look at housing, it had a yellow signal here. So housing's been bullish this whole time. What is that? Microcaps, white bar sell signal here, and then the recovery rebound with an inside bar. Would you bet your house on this? No. But it's that recovery. It was looking awfully bearish here, and now, whoop, no, maybe not. Best case I can call this is sideways. Do we want to buy sideways securities? No. We want to buy crap that's going up. IWM, sideways. IYH, okay. This is a really good one. I've again got this in the family trust portfolio. Pink bar signal here, that means sit up and pay attention. The reaction, benign. What did it do? Did it crash downwards? Nope, it simply went back up. So big investors may have sold here, but they're not prepared to keep selling it again and again and again. This call that a one-timer. All right. So signal and reaction to signal, and the reaction was benign. Okay. Same deal here on transports, although a little more volatile, but relatively the same thing. And the transports keep flashing. Either we're bearish or no, we're not. So market's still making up its mind. Fizz, that's gold again. Yeah, I never should have sold it here, clearly. But it's only, see, like $1.50. That doesn't really beat me up. Should have kept it down in here, but it is what it is. QQQs, yellow bar buy signal. All right, technology is telling us that that's the place to be. RSP, yeah, recovery. Looking bad here, but recovery. RSP is another good spot. Short-term interest rates going up, which means investors are buying short-term bonds, which is driving the yields down. Excuse me. Price up, yield down. It also suggests that inflation is coming down, but suggests. Semiconductors looking bad here this week, rebounded this week, but look at that. It's only an inside bar. It didn't do anything fancy going to the upside. Signal here, you could argue it's barely retraced only half of this drop. So would we classify this in the same zone as the NASDAQ and software? No. Semiconductors are a laggard. which is very interesting because you'd think semiconductors would be blasting off. Nope. S&P 500 box breakout right there. But if you compare it to the equal weighted S&P 500 RSP, it's a laggard. So, you know, a lot of securities analysis it involves comparison. But that's still very bullish. Very bullish looking because it's recaptured all of this compared to semiconductors where it can't even it can't even dream of getting the highs at the moment. Meanwhile, S&P 500 is back at the highs. S&P 500 is doing better than the NASDAQ on a relative basis. NASDAQ's only back to 3/4. Interesting, huh? SPY, yep, confirming that. But interesting, SPY is not confirming on the volume. Sentiment, look at that. Last week, we were hitting a low in sentiment. Now here, we're back up to 75%. Give me a break. I'm so tired of being jerked around, aren't you? Ah, it's just so annoying. You can't take a week off. Let's see. That's another sentiment was dropping. Now right back up. Let's see. And even the other one. Sentiment was looking horrible. Rep back to the upside. We're either crashing or ripping. There's no middle ground. And it's so annoying. Right here. The tan solar was coming back down. Rebounded back into its Darvas box range, and it did it on volume, which is interesting because that's more of a statement of confidence. So I may have to stop crapping on the solar sector, even though I've been crapping on it for months and months. I may have to stop because that's actually very positive looking. TLTs. Moving up, as expected. But the Fed meeting will change that in some way, shape, or form. The VIX is coming down. A little hard to see on this, but it came back down to an inside bar, and a low VIX means markets usually go up. REITs pointing higher again. REITs do pay income, so maybe that's suggesting that commercial office space is doing okay. Commercial real estate, maybe not offices, but that sector. Home building, a little shake and bake right here, but week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Normally week 4 is where the box breakout fails. And yeah, I would call that a box breakout failure, but it ended up closing up higher. So what can you do? It's back to a bullish trend. XLE, oil and gas, heading down, but no, recovered. I wouldn't call that as strong as solar, but again, we know that energy has been weak, but maybe it's not that weak. So that's how I interpret that. Financials. This here is a bullish hammer. So we'll see what happens. But again, financials and Fed meeting go hand in hand. We will see. Okay, list number 2, box breakouts. List 2 is much bigger than last week. So we've seen some also-rans that barely came in. And now here we have box breakouts. So AAOI. I traded this last week, but it formed a bearish hammer bar. And came down, so I took the money and run, a quick sort of midweek trade. And what do? Well, because I'm so familiar with it from the prior week, it hits the box breakout level again, and I buy it again. And this time, look at that move, and there's the volume right there. So I'm long AAOI. Yeah, it's a little midget, but hey, man, signals. What other stocks are showing you box breakouts on volume? And look at the volume. Volume. That's 5 bars of green volume and only 1 of red. Interesting. Axon box breakout. Look at that on volume. This is police recording devices, tasers, and can you believe it's got a $29 billion valuation? Amazing. It's come a long way, baby. It's not an easy one to trade. It's better for as a long-term hold, but again, box breakout. Here is a box breakout from the prior weeks, except it's failed. Ugh, that's a failure. Now, judging by the downward trend, yeah, I'd expect it to fail. So I noted it the last time, but I can't recommend it. But it's just noted, and now guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna get rid of it and send it. We'll send it to back to watching list. So you're going. BLND. I had this one box breakout here. I sold it here just because on the weakness, and look at that rebound in my face. Should have bought it back, but I was busy. This here could be a new box forming like that. But normally I like to have a couple weeks to make sure that low holds. But I'll draw this one and we'll see what happens. Something like that. But also because it's a brand new box range, it means this old box is no longer in play. So I'll put it back to watching. Berkshire, still in a breakout upward trend, hasn't formed a new box or anything, but interesting, red, we'll see. CORZ, box breakout. What I don't like about this one, I didn't buy it this time. What I don't like about it is it's got 177 million shares outstanding. That means it's just going to be a slow mover. Like it's going to be an eternity going from 9 to 10 and from 10 to 11 and from 11 to 12. It can be bullish, but it's just not going to rip, probably, unlike how it went from 4 to 8, because it has a lot of shares outstanding. Many traders, investors don't understand why this is a problem. It's a problem because every dollar it goes up is like 170 million. It's already at 1.8 billion. To make any money, it needs to go to, for me to double, it needs to go to 3.6 billion. Do they do a level of business that warrants a valuation of $3 to $4 billion? Probably not. And the other argument against it is that because there's this number of shares outstanding, there's always sellers. There's always somebody who wants to sell. So it's got to fight its way. So the sweet spot is when usually it has lower share counts, like between 30 and 100 million is much better. Okay, DHI, the America's #1 housing company, moving up. Look at that. Big signal here, just keeps going. There'd be no reason to sell this in these past few weeks. Lockheed, look at that. Look at that breakout and move higher. That's defense. And the way Congress spends money, yeah, I bet a ton of it's going to them. MDB going up. Woo-woo. Box breakout. So far holding up. Oracle, huge box breakout again. So now look at Oracle. Huge breakout here, huge breakout here, huge breakout here. Why is anybody selling this? Like down here, they're all selling like, yeah, we like it, but no, we're going to sell some. These people are crazy. Oracle's just doing amazing. Now, I don't own it because in the family trust, we've got exposure to it. So, I leave it alone. But that's the profile of a winner right there. Huge breakouts. PI. Okay. This is an example. I did buy this one this past week. Box breakout. And here's an example. How many shares outstanding does PI have? 18 million float, 27 million shares outstanding. That's a mover. This could move 100 points, in a day. could. I mean, it won't, but it could. Uh, it it can move up 10 points in a session, which is great. How long will it take uh, CORZ to move 10 points? Might take them a year. So and I bought this one also because I'm familiar with the box range, easy, had alert set and all that. It hit, pull out my phone, buy it, move, and then go back to what I'm doing. But that's a lovely box breakout. PLTR box breakout. I know a lot of people are focused on this one. So it formed a very short Darvas box range. Again, normally I like a couple of weeks for the lows to hit, but that's a valid box breakout. Now I bought it here, I sold it here like a dum dum. Should have kept it, but oh well, my bad. But again, the share count thing, PLTR has $2.2 billion outstanding. Every time it goes up a dollar, that's $2 billion in value. Is this company worth $77 billion? Maybe. I really don't know. I don't even know what they do. It's AI for killing people, which probably is a great business. But anyways, that here is a box breakout. If you're long, you should be feeling good. Ferrari box breakout looking great. This one, Roku box breakout moving higher. Who saw that coming? Not me. RDX, more defense, doing nothing, no signals. Shark Ninja, box breakout, moving higher. Look how great that looks. Does anybody own any Shark Ninja products? Spotify, yeah, slowly but surely. TKO, doing okay. That's probably forming a new box here. I could draw it here, but it's, again, I like to have the lows, have a couple more instances of the lows. Upstart, box breakout here, doing okay, but vicious, nasty pullback. And remember, a few weeks ago in my weekend review, I sort of questioned how much more cheese it had because of valuation and all that. Yeah, was I wrong? Was I wrong when I was questioning it around in here? So we'll see how much more we can get. URI box breakout. See all the new stuff occurring? Now, Venom, oil and gas. I own this for income, and I've kept it to show examples of box breakouts in other areas. That's a huge signal right there. Oof, look at that selling. Am I going to sell this? No. I keep it for income. And you see it's above that, but it's definitely getting moved. Move it back to watching. And Walmart. God, buy signal here, box breakout here. You could have bought Walmart or at 68, and you'd already be up 12 points. Just gorgeous. America's biggest companies printing money hand over fist. Okay, bullet. So this list of box breakouts is a much higher quality looking list than the last few weeks, huh? So a lot has changed. Market's more bullish. Whoops, no, we want bull signals. Okay, this list bull signals are stocks that had bullish characteristics but didn't quite have this textbook pattern. ARM, there's a bullish signal. Yellow bar buy signal. I've made a ton of money shorting ARM, but man, maybe I ought to be buying it now. Broadcom, remember chips and software? Well, this one looks, pretty good. White bar sell signal followed by an even more impressive yellow bar buy signal. What do we got? BLDR, still moving up off that. Nothing special. Bros, remember I talked about inside bars? Well, there was the setup. There's the breakout move. Did it come on any big volume? No, but it's just sort of documenting it. That's a bullish signal. Kava, there's another bullish signal. If you wanted to be in it, there was your signal. to do it. Signal, reaction, trigger line, boom. Now, this is a little awkward here where big green followed by big red, but yeah, the whole company's doing better. Costco, box breakout, but volume was low. But many times that might not matter because it's done it here. But just following the signals, that's a valid signal. You see how big this line is, this grouping is? It just reflects the sea change. Dash. Yes, it did form a valid box range here. Box breakout, volume was low. Not my number one, but moving up. DJT, the Donald. Look at that. We got a signal with some big ass volume. Is that a signal I want to buy? Well, I don't know if I'd want to buy it, but different things are happening, so we'll see. DOCN, there was that yellow signal. Now it's moving higher. Getting some volume here too. See that? Green, 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 green. That one might be worth looking into. Solar ENPH, there's a hammer signal. If you love solar, you should be looking at maybe buying it next week. FSLR with a yellow bar buy signal. It only took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It only took 12 weeks, and now we have a valid signal. Put that on the bullish list. GE, moving higher. GEO, hammer bar signal, bullish looking. GEV, there was that hammer signal. If you saw it, you took it, you're up nicely. So you see all the bullish signals that all of a sudden occurred this past week? Like WTF, where did those come from? What changed? Well, I don't know. I was up in Niagara Falls. But I see it here on the charts. General Motors, look at that. Hammer time. So I think you get the flavor that there's been a ton of new signals and they all flash bullish. Google was a box breakdown right here. Volume was low. Look at that rebound with some authority. That could be buyable right there. That's sort of saying that, yeah, Google at 190, no. But Google at 150, 155, yeah. IonQ, since AI is the big theme, I dusted this one off, and you got a blue bar signal here. This doesn't grab me because the volume should be a lot bigger, but it's a signal. IoT moving up, signals. Netflix, box breakout. What do we got? ServiceNow, box breakout. Again, volume's low, but as we saw, software. This one's driving software. What else? Steel. Hammer bar, hammer time in steel. It's hammer time. So steel might be going to recover. Running shoes, moving higher. Box breakout, but didn't have a big volume. The volume's not in the right spot on that one. Roblox. So I bought this one because I've been stalking a larger pattern on it. And I'll show you what I mean. And if this interests you, you might want to buy some too if you have a long-term account. You know, this is not a trade. So on the weekly time frame, we got a signal here and, a signal here and then a box breakout here, but nothing really crazy bullish. Well, if you use different time frames, you'll see this is the monthly time frame. You'll see a lovely box range here with, what does that look like? A box breakout. Now volume here, it's only 2 weeks in, so it still has 2 more weeks to get some big volume in here, but You know, what are you going to do? Wait for it? Or just buy now and see what happens? So I'm long here in the mid 44s and we'll see what happens. But that's on a monthly chart. So if it's going to turn, it's going to do it now. And it had a blue bar signal last month, and now it triggered bullish this month. What was the high? High was 44.85. I'm long at 44.50. So this is definitely in effect bullish reaction. So I use weekly for most signals, but monthly charts have signals also. Choose your time frame. What do we got here? Root, hammer time, potential bullish stuff going on. But noted it didn't climb back into its box range, so I'm a little skeptical. So we'll put on the watch list. VRT, yellow bar buy signal. Yeah, just tech everywhere. Oil equipment. Weatherford. Interesting. Hammer time. That might be interesting from a long-term buy perspective, because if oil starts turning up again, well, then there's a low right there. You ever wanted to buy the lows of a move and then have it go higher? Well, that may be your chance. I've been debating whether to buy that or not. The Zetas cartel is moving up. And ZS, okay. I shorted this one last week. I see a box breakdown, see signals. What does it do? It rebounds with some green interest. So I covered this bad boy, no harm, no foul. I made like 50 cents. But there's an example of bulls defending a low. They defended it like, do I want to mortgage my house and put it on ZS? God, no. But it's just another example how bullish money moved back into the market. So there has been a real sea change in my opinion. Okay, let's keep it going. Bearish stuff. Bearish list. The bearish list was really big last week. Now it got a lot shorter, but not everything has turned to buys now. Just because we had a good week doesn't mean some stocks are, buy everything. A-Lab. It had these huge sequence of signals here and ended up with a bearish shooter, which triggered there, but now bullish. But come on, there's really nothing going on here. That's sort of a vote of confidence, but it might be misplaced confidence. But nothing there. This stock, I'll give it one more week and then it'll come off this list. ASTS. So retail investors love this stock. Probably because it went from $4 to $30. A great move. And but you can't fall in love with this stuff. If you do, you're just asking for trouble. So it gave a signal here that's bearish. It triggered. Now it had some whacked volatility in here, closed down, but now they're piling in again. And I mean, it had a great rebound day, but what's the overall pattern? The overall pattern is now a sideways box, potentially. So I would consider them lucky that it didn't go down further, but is this the strongest thing I want to buy? No, not really. One more week. I give this one more week and then this will come off. Sell H. I've been short this one here. Still am. But I've now moved my stop from here down to here. If markets rebound next week, well then I'll probably be stopped out. But man, that's trading. That's how you trade. And if that's my stop out right here, well, that's a hell of a profit because I shorted it about 70 and that'll be about 50%. Welcome to trend following. And I'll have been in this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, possibly 15 weeks. When was the last time you shorted something and held for 3 months? That's what you can do when you get experience. Coin, I'm still short coin because we had the box breakdown. It was all, I'm short at like 200. It was down to 150. You think I'm scared that it rebounded, 10 points? No, I'm a little concerned, but I'm simply concerned because I want to lock in my profit. So I might be kicked out of this because that's a valid signal. Maybe next week, we'll see. But that's a inside bar signal. So now I've got, I can create a plan to trade it. If I do get kicked out, well, then I'll walk away with 30 points. Dell. So I shorted Dell last week because of the failure of the blue bar. Right there, triggered it. It closed there, and then what happened? It gets added to the S&P 500. Thanks, guys. And now it's up again. So I covered basically for barely. If I made lunch money, great. I didn't even look. I just covered and move on. And now it's ended up with an inside bar signal. Is this the pattern that you want to mortgage your house on? No. Even volume was low. For an S&P 500 ad, volume's low. But I shorted Dell, I'm out of it. I'll give it one more week, then it comes off this list. ELF, I'm still short. The ELF has bigger problems than a positive week in the market, in my opinion. So I'm still short ELF, and we'll see what happens. Think I'm scared of it when I'm shorted it in the 150s, and now it's at 116? Hardly. It's annoying, but I'm not scared of it at all. GH has been negative. That's a very positive rebound. I'll give this one more week, and then it comes off the list. GME. Ruh-roh. What happened to the kitty? Bearish, possible bearish signal. Pink bar signal, but we'll see the reaction next week. Will tell us more. This one, pink bar 2 weeks ago. Give it one more week. But it was up, but not much. ML, still there's that box breakdown, the signals here, and hasn't done much. I made my mistake, went long here. I rectified that there, and there's nothing there, no reason to be excited. Microsoft, just doodling it sideways. NVIDIA, pink bar signal, I shorted it. Feeling great here. What does it do? It rebounds in my face. So I covered at 110. I made $10 profit. And no real signals, but it is forming a box range. So we'll see what happens. Otherwise, yeah, no real humongous signals or volume or anything. It's just putting along. This one starting to rebound, no real signals, maybe form a box, but nothing I'd get too excited over. And if it goes up another week, then this will come off the list. SG, failed signal here, came down, now it rebounded. What does it do? It's forming a box. No reason to have it on your radar. Oh, although it might, because it's in an uptrend, but it's a sloppy ass uptrend, in my opinion. SMCI, pink bar signal. It's been down ever since. And I thought I read they might have not filed their 10K or their 8K again. They missed it. Something's wrong here with this company. But we'll see what happens. I've been out of it a little bit. Snow, I'm still short Snow. I'm only up a couple bucks, so I might have to cover, but the big pattern is the one I'm still betting on. the big downward pattern. So we'll see. I should have been shorted from up here, like 180, but oh well. I shorted it several times here, but I used the weekly as my guide when I really should have just shorted it here like I did and just kept it and shut my eyes. But yeah, it is what it is. The stinger going down. Not everything's doing good. This one, TMDX. Now this is sort of forming a box now. Little premature box drawn, but we'll look at it. So, and then the final little guy right here, not doing anything, sideways. One more week up and I'll take this off. So you see a lot of the weaklings had rebounds, which is threatening to negate their weakness. And so this list is on the verge of getting a lot smaller. And yeah, you know, that's the theme of how we're interpreting stuff. And I said, this one's so funny because people were calling me all kinds of names. I love it. So anyways, that's sort of the weekly review. You can see how markets really turned around. There's some fresh new stuff. There's some other stuff which simply stopped going down. But now we got the big Fed meeting this week. So we'll see what happens. Okay, let's get into a few user requests. And oh, I want to mention one other thing, income. So I roll profits from trading into a separate account for income because income is so important to convert all these wonderful profits, because when markets suck and go down and all that for extended periods of time and it's hard to make money, well, getting paid your monthly or quarterly dividends, oh, it's just the most wonderful feeling. And when they become significant amount of money, like everybody's number is different, but when you start getting 100, 500, or $1,000 a month without working for it, you just let your investments do that. At some point, it'll change your whole mindset, and you'll want more. Eventually, you know, if you can make it's like the Rich Dad Poor Dad books. If you can make enough passive income money, which equals your salary, well, then you're financially free. So this is wonderful goals to get to. I have a income portfolio. I'm not going to show you my whole list, but a great example is this KIO. So I'll search out stuff that pays high income yield, and I'm not really concerned about share prices or anything. I mean, I am. I don't want to get killed, but I'm looking for stuff that pays steady. Now, right now, this could be called extended, but I bought this one last year in 2023. I've been very happy with it. KKR Income Opportunities Fund. And I will look at different sources. Here's a website called CEF Connect. And what I like about this website, it'll examine closed-end funds. Now, closed-end funds trade like stocks, but what I can examine is the distribution rates, how much does it pay, the frequency. You can get into the distribution history because I want steady payers. You see how it dipped right here and then came back? And then it'll also break down the income you make. I avoid anything that has ROC, return of capital, because that's basically where they're paying you back your own money. Like, and it screws up your cost basis because you constantly have to recalculate it lower. It's like the fund is paying you back your own money. No thanks. But you see right here, steady Eddie payer, and that's what I like. And I'll usually hold these forever. So long as they keep paying and they don't get screwed, you know, that's what I'm looking for. It pays every month. So think about it. This is not telling you to buy this fund, but it's telling you to think about that as an overall topic for your money. Because getting paid passive income is really helps. It really helps you as a trader. Okay, let's go into Twitter and see any users. By the way, aren't these photos just lovely? Niagara Falls, it was a wonderful day. Let's see. DJT. Oh, we've talked about DJT. Again, we got the big signal. Here we had goalposts. I goofing around on that, but goalpost volume. That's a special pattern. I did not invent that, but when you see that, it can many times lead to big moves, buckle your seatbelt moves. Here we got that signal, and man, I don't know what it's going to do, but volume showed up, and we'll see. I have no prediction on that. OSCR, yellow bar buy signal, that looks pretty good. I don't really know this stock, but this I immediately see. This looks like a box range here and a box range here. So that's basically a yellow bar signal, but it's inside a box range. So you want it to keep going and break out. How about monthly? Yeah, I suppose it could be something like that. But interesting. I'll keep an eye on that one. What's next? Amazon. Yeah, we looked at Amazon, or did we? That's monthly. Amazon has been working on a monthly hammer signal. So, currently, the signal has been benign, but if Amazon hits this top level, then it's game on for Amazon. On the weekly view, there's that big move down, then the sort of the dead cat bounce, and now the rebound, but volume is low. Not bad. I prefer the monthly view, but we'll see. That other one was SIL. Silver, I don't really do commodities. Doesn't really show me much. What do we got? APP, super bad? I don't know. I think APP is super good. And it makes me wonder, what am I missing? I don't really know this company, but on the monthly, tons of volatility, but green, 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 green. They just keep buying it. Let's look at it on the weekly. Woof! Okay, let's start back here at the beginning. Big box range, big volume, breakout. Moves higher. Green, 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 green. Then the shake and bake down here. And now rebound. And now what happened this week? Damn, look at that. Bang, bang, bang. They just piled into it. Was there news? Well, this is not super bad. This is super awesome. So let's add APP back to the bullish list. That looks incredible. So, but this zone made it freaking impossible. Look at this range between 60 and 112. Give me a break. So that's where you need conviction to survive this little shake area. And if you know the company have conviction, well then yeah, you can make big money. So great pick. Oracle, we did that. CORZ, we did that one already. Let's look at my fave. This site, I love StockTwits. Lovely picture, right? Dudes, ew, that picture's disgusting, man. Tesla cores, come on. So Tesla, I bought it and then I sold it last week because remember how it dropped huge? And now the reaction is up, but an inside bar, so it's poised for potentially higher along there, or even potentially lower. But the only thing I do see, volume has been low this whole time. So Tesla may move, but it's not the number one pick. It's not your number one draft pick anymore. Let's look at it on the monthly. Monthly yellow bar buy signal. sort of futzing around, but doesn't look awful. Had a signal here that didn't trigger. This signal did trigger right there, but I would call this a 4th round pick, draft pick, not a 1st rounder. Still positive. For the 49ers, my tight end, George Kittle, he was a 5th round draft pick. Look at him. Look at him now. But anyways, that's that one. Coors. Coors is from many, many years ago. It's not even on the list. I don't know what happened to it. What else we got? Sig and Siri. What's Sig? Signet Jewelers. Oh, look at that. Now this is a monthly view, so we could call this sort of a monthly. Yeah, I'd call that monthly there, and then monthly. Monthly, like, yeah, like that. So monthly, it's sort of struggling. On the weekly, oof. Well, you had this big sell-off here, but, oh, you had this big sell-off here. Now a rebound, but it's just, this is just all super volatile. If you're buying fresh new, yeah, maybe right there. Maybe this week was the bye week, but it's got to chew through all this resistance up here. And not my first choice, I'm sorry. What's the other one? Siri. Oof. No. No, 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 no. Look at that. Big selling. It's pointing downwards. Just did a 1 for 10. That must be a reverse split. Oof. Yeah, that's a negative. I'd avoid. If you short this, congratulations. But yeah, even on the monthly chart, it looks bad. Sorry. RKLB. Rocket Lab. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we're going to Mars. Maybe we need rockets, huh? So this is monthly view. Well, look at this big, huge green volume bar. That's pretty good. Now that's a breakout. Box breakout on Rocket Lab. First, I'm going to put this on my watching. Let's look at it on the weekly. Where would I draw? Maybe there, but that would be a failure. See, weekly's kind of a mess. This is a hard one. Here. Okay, so weekly is kind of a mess, but I would just trade it off the monthly. Off the monthly, that's a buy. I might want to buy some because that's a lovely green bar. Look at that. And all those volatile junk, who cares? You don't need to buy the low here to make money. That looked great to me on a monthly basis. I must have tracked it at some point because I do have this prior box. Oh, is this a... yeah. So RKLB, I like it. I like it a lot. But you got to use the monthly time frame. See, this is a great example for anybody watching. Use the monthlies. RDW, nice pick. RDW, Redwire. Okay, I must have looked into this at some point because it's got a monthly and got a signal, but it hasn't triggered. We got some red. Okay, yeah, I must have done this one before. Look at that. See, do you see anything really standing out here? Any big volume here? It sort of stopped here, and now nothing's happened for a couple months. I don't like this one as much as I like the other one. In fact, I would say avoid the RDW, buy the RKLB. Moga? Moga. Never heard of Moga. Do I even have it? Look at that. I'm sorry, Moga. I don't even have it on the list. Is that a penny stock midget? I said no, no penny midgets. Sorry. Net. Oh, net. I I hate net. This company, I'm sure, is a fine company. What I don't like about it is this market cap of $26 billion. They don't make anywhere near the money that, in my opinion, justifies this valuation. But the market likes it. Puru Saxena likes it. And we all know how successful Puru is. Please. um, what I see here is sideways, and nothing special is happening at all here. And on the monthly, it's just sideways. I don't see anything happening with this one. I thought it was a short back in here, but I was proven wrong. So yeah, it's just hanging out. Nothing happened there. And IoT, we've already looked at. Strong, it's got the box breakout. Not a strong breakout, but it's come up with some strong volume and it's pointed higher. So, how's IoT on the monthly? Yeah. Oh, IoT monthly. It actually had a better signal here with the hammer moving up, but it had volatility back in there. So, overall bullish, but not my favorite. But if you bought it, you made good money. Let's see, the last one, ELF and ZS. I've talked about both of those. Okay, so that is it for the weekly review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great weekend. And we look forward to the Federal Reserve screwing things up next week. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.